Cops don't like me, so I don't like cops.
Badges don't grant extra rights. This is CopBlock Radio on the FPRN Radio Network. Here are your hosts, Eric, Adam, and Scott.
And welcome everybody to the CopBlock Radio Show for October 9th, 2013, live on FPRN and syndicated across the interwebs. Or you can download us as a podcast after the show at FPRNradio.com. And that's the only place you could have downloaded it last week because I forgot to put it up on Copblock.org. So I guess that's what happened. So I'm Eric, and with me tonight, as always, I have Adam and Scott. How you guys doing?
Good, man. How are you?
Good. It's been actually a relatively slow week for me, amazingly. Though we
I'm
still
so
have
jealous.
gone out. What?
I'm so jealous.
What?
Oh, you're having a slow week.
Oh, that I'm having a slow week? Yeah.
Yeah.
It was nice. I went to bed at 8 o'clock last night. It was so nice.
I went to bed before 9 o'clock, and I just could not. I was incapable of being awake anymore.
So we did continue our streak of going out every Friday night here in Keene, doing cop block and outreach and whatnot. But we now have our new literature, which was a big hit, and our Facebook likes have jumped faster than normal. So it looks like the new stuff's doing the job. Is Adam with us, or did he drop off?
I think he's picking his nose.
All right, well, whatever. So this is a live show, and if you aren't listening to it live, just know that we do it every Wednesday night at 9:30 p.m. Eastern, 6:30 p.m. Pacific. And if you are listening to us live, you can call us and get your name on the show. Or I guess get your voice on the show. You don't have to give us your name, or at least your real name. Just something we can call you. And Scott should have that for you.
Oh, shit. That's my cue.
Oh, you didn't have it ready.
I wasn't, man, I'm not on it right now. I was looking at an article about why the parks were closed and how it's, completely necessary that all the parks be shut down because, God forbid, society can protect itself or provide a service to others.
Yeah, I got at least 2 articles about that and one audio clip that we'll play later about the absurdity of closing down a friggin' open space.
Sorry, kids, nature's closed. So if you would like to call in tonight, the number, as always, is 567-314-9296. Hit the 1234 and then the pound sign, and we'll get you in. The preferred method is always Skype. It just has better sound quality. If you would add our producers at FPRN Radio Live, they'll add you back, and we'll get you on live.
So since you alluded to the idiocy of the shutdown of open spaces, we might as well jump to that. If the producer can play clip number 3.
Please pass the word to management that this is a bad decision.
Well, we originally decided to stay open because we knew they were going to keep the Blue Ridge Parkway open. Then at 6 o'clock yesterday, when the Rangers came up and said, "We now order you to cease operations," we reflected on it again, decided we weren't prepared to be a symbol, and we closed. Last night I slept on it, and I simply decided, if not now, when, and if not me, who. Simple as that. Well, they've responded basically by sending Rangers to block our gates with red flashing lights. They've sent me a director's order signed by John Jarvis, the director of the National Park Service. They have told me that I'm violating my contract, and they've directed me to cease operations.
So we're just at this point manning the access points and ensuring that people don't come in to utilize the business that according to the federal government is closed.
If they haven't closed the parkway, why should they close the concessions? Makes no sense. It's just government trying to make it as painful as possible.
So in that clip, you can hear one of the rangers stating very matter-of-factly that, so we're just manning the entrances and making sure nobody goes in. It's like, what are you, that's such a waste of time. Why are you standing there doing nothing and just forcing a business to be closed? That makes no sense at all.
Well, it's the government. Of course it doesn't make sense. Come on now. You know better. You live in Keene.
So that's what you heard was one of the managers from the Pisgah Inn, which is on the Blue Ridge Parkway, southwest of Asheville, North Carolina. So it's completely insane that they would shut down a private business because they don't want to allow people to pass on a road that doesn't need somebody there to allow people to pass on. I don't get it. How can you close down something that doesn't require anybody to maintain it actively? I don't get it.
No, it doesn't make any sense at all.
Nature's closed. The government says so.
I know. Unfortunately, I'm over an hour and a half away from any national forest or anything. Amazingly, I'm smack dab in like the one part of the state where you have to go a long distance in any direction to get to a national forest or something. But
yeah, it's kind of like what I was talking about. Before the show. There was a news station was interviewing an older guy who was hiking the Appalachian Trail, and they had talked to him about what he was going to do, and he was expressing his concerns about the fact that, while hiking on the Appalachian Trail, from Maine to Georgia, you go through public property, some of which is state, some of it's county, but some of it's actually federal property. And he was really concerned about, not breaking the law while he is through hiking a, however many 1,000-mile frickin' hike. His concern was not breaking the law, because he's hiking on a frickin' trail through the woods. That was his concern, was breaking the law.
When he doesn't require any amenities to be maintained for his use.
Yeah.
He's simply walking through the woods.
He is the definition of self-sufficient.
Exactly.
I require nothing.
My stepbrother and his wife are doing that next year, so hopefully they don't run into problems like that too. But yeah, it's. I just actually posted a story that there's some 21 people who got arrested, quote unquote, sneaking into the Grand Canyon.
Well, they had whenever you go to the Grand Canyon and you go, down the river, down the Colorado River, you have to, get permits and do a lot of planning. And they have, there's like companies that are like tours and stuff that go down the river. And there was people who were stopped and were not permitted to go into the park, even though this was like, that's their vacation. That's what they planned for. They paid for this stuff, months, maybe a year in advance. And they were being told that they were not permitted to go down the river. But there was already people that were on the river. There was already people out there. So they were just being told, even though they're on there, they started before you. So they're okay, but you cannot enter the park. You can't go out into nature.
Yeah, there was another video that I watched. I couldn't get the audio for it, but they were saying that there were 27 weddings planned in the Great Smoky National Park.
Oh, no kidding.
And all 27 of them had to be canceled.
Wow.
It's like, how can you possibly close down an open air space? It's so stupid. But in this article, because of the shutdown, like they shut down one of the main roads, and now kids can't get to school because all the county roads are too steep for the school buses, and the school buses can't use the road because the federal government closed it down.
You're free unless we tell you can't go there.
The government has officially reclaimed the roads.
Right,
Yes.
and there's like cemeteries that are now cut off that families can't get to. It's just ridiculous at this point.
The ludicrousness knows no bounds.
Just pisses me off.
It's so fucktarded.
Yeah, see, this is how they're going to throw it in our face that, because the government shut down, all this bad crap is happening. No, it's the government doing the bad crap to begin with. So I don't get how this works at all. They're basically enforcing laws that don't really exist. I don't know how you can trespass in a national forest.
Mm-hmm.
How the hell does that work?
I don't know, but I found it hilarious. Did you guys see the article on RT of Obama's his speech he did the other day, where basically he said that you wouldn't handle your business employer this way, and you wouldn't let them do to you, you wouldn't act this way with them, or to foreign relations or anything like that. Well, basically the way he said it is you wouldn't act this way, but you really think about it, it's exactly how you do it in this country. If you're not happy with your business employer and the way that things are going, you go on strike. You don't do your job. You say, not until you fix this will I come back. And basically that's what they've done. They're not agreeing
but
past
in
the
this
budget
case,
because
they're
they're
not
happy
even
about
going on
something.
strike. They're actually actively making people's lives miserable.
To that extent, yeah, they are. But the fact that I think the whole thing's stupid, the way that Obama keeps playing it around, though. They make it's just a constant big blame game between both sides. It's their fault, it's his fault, it's that fault. It's like, no, just do your shit and do what we pay you to do.
Well, we're not technically paying them.
Okay, technically, yeah.
They're just using the money that's stolen.
You steal from us to do this job that we hope you would
Right,
expect
and
to
you can't even do that
properly.
right.
You can't even do it.
Yeah, I mean, it just knows no bounds. The money that's, going out of the country, we have to give foreign aid to these people. Like, why don't we just pay people that live here instead of, supporting people in other countries? Why don't we let the people that live here get paid and not pay people we don't even have a responsibility to pay?
If we even had a
that'd be too obvious.
responsibility to begin with.
Yeah, it's kind of like, well, if you're not going to do your job, then we'll just stop paying you.
Yeah, where'd this responsibility come from?
I know.
I didn't sign up for it, and I didn't want the people who are doing it to do it, so I got no say in the matter.
Thank you, but I respectfully decline.
I don't remember signing a contract to have to agree to this.
And then you're like, oh, you have a big gun. Here's $20. Please don't shoot me.
Thank you, sir. May I have another?
But it's so sad that just how the ranger described what they're doing so nonchalantly, like he doesn't have any remorse on what he's doing, and he doesn't feel what he's doing is wrong. He's just taking orders and not even thinking for 1 second to himself. I don't know how people like that make such a disconnection between what's actually happening and what they are doing to perpetuate the problem.
Yeah. Blindly following orders, yeah.
Anywho.
But we have a more positive note on that end, though, of people taking government out of that hand.
Oh, yes. Yes, please elaborate.
Yeah, we got the citizens of Oakland are crowdfunding a private police force. This is an article that actually I got from Derek J. on his Peace News Now, and I looked into it a little further and actually reached out to them waiting for a response to maybe talk to somebody, bring them on the show. But basically there's a large portion of private citizens in Oakland that have, from what I understand, about half covered the budget to be able to hire a private security firm to protect them rather than the police. So in that sense, taking it out of the hands of government and putting it back in the private sector, which I mean there is, yays and nays to that. I've heard comments of private companies having a private agenda, but I mean there's always a risk in that. I mean it can't be any worse than the government right now with their agendas. So the way I look at it.
Right, if you're paying them for protection, they may be contractually obligated to provide some sort of service, and if they don't, then you may have some sort of recourse to counter the lack of service.
Holding accountable would be much easier.
Right. You can withdraw your money from a private company.
For the service. Sorry, go ahead, Eric.
I said you can withdraw your money from a private company. You can't withdraw it from the police because then the police just come to your house and take it from you anyways. Either they will get their money or they will take your dwelling, which is ass backwards. I don't know how you can possibly tax something perpetually that you already own. There's no transaction other than ownership. And that just pisses me off. That's the most annoying tax in the world.
That's the number one.
That's the number one. I don't know. So, what are your thoughts on this, Scott?
You were talking about tax. I'm kind of irritated about the death tax. That's a pretty big one. That's retarded.
I was speaking more along the lines of the private police force
you got me sidetracked on stolen money. No, I think the private police forces, man, I think that's where it's at. I think that, those guys in Detroit have it down pretty, they started there's like 96 or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
You should have private police forces because you don't like what you get something different.
Yeah.
Like, we don't need your services anymore. What's that?
Talk about jobs, helping out with jobs. There's more jobs, competition.
Right, and the incentive to do good, to do the right thing, and to provide a good service is there. There's no incentive in the system that we have right now. The only incentive is to, extort people for more money so you can get, a higher pension at the end of the year, or a higher pension at the end of your career.
Yeah, I don't know what else to say about that one. It's just, I would love to see more of these take off. Unfortunately, it's only been in really large places. Hopefully it'll start to trickle down to smaller communities.
Yeah, I was actually kind of hopeful. There was a town not too far from me that was talking about disbanding their police department because they didn't have the money. And it was like, this is the best thing ever. Like, I hope, and the town's not a great town to live in. It's kind of, I don't want to say it's run down, but it's not, it's not a town that I would want to live in. But then whenever they started talking about how they might disband the police and it would be policed by the state police, which really, the state police are not interested in local problems. So it would essentially be not much of a police force. I was like, damn, that might not be a bad place to live. But unfortunately they found some way, which I'm sure it was, higher taxes.
Yeah, there's a town near me where they just got rid of, they don't have a police force anymore. And it's just the stadies get called in if something really bad happens. But other than that, there's no police presence to speak of other than on the 2 state routes that go through it. They don't go on the rest of the surface streets or anything. And so far, no problems. So, not a big deal. I guess it depends where you live. And if you actually care about your neighbor, or if you just want them to pay for crap that you want. And that's all really taxes are. They're just, you want other people to pay for crap that you want for free, or less than what it would cost you.
God forbid having to work for something you want.
I know, right?
Wouldn't want to have
so
to
damn
do that.
privileged.
I don't know. I'll tell you what, working for something. It was a little bit of the fact that I got sidetracked, but I had to save up some money so I could order some more stuff. But I got my shiny badge.
Nice.
In the mail yesterday, so I'm stoked.
What number did you get?
509.
Wow, they're already printing the 5s? That's awesome.
Well, I special ordered that back when they were still printing like the 200s.
Oh, okay. Well, it's awesome that they're through
wait
the
for it to get
5s.
made
That's great.
first. Because that's the area code here for all of the greater Spokane County and further out than that area code. So
New Hampshire is 603, so that hasn't been printed yet.
All the rest of the good numbers were already gone. So.
But I have 311, so it doesn't matter.
Yep. Yeah, all the rest of the numbers were gone, so I was like, I'm going to go with my area code then. Sounds good.
So, what else do you guys want to talk about tonight?
I don't know. It sounds like Dio's trying to get on, but is having some serious issues. So, Dio, if you're trying to get on, type to the producer. I guess he's having some issues.
Oh, the great thing of live radio.
We can relay messages from the producers to the listeners. How awesome is that?
Yeah.
Of course, in that case, everything goes wrong. That's the problem.
Look at that. See?
We haven't had too many problems.
Dio, are you there?
Yeah.
What's up, brother? How are you?
Hey. Yeah, I was talking about the national forest closures and whatnot. We have Greater Cleveland Copblock's going to be sponsoring an event on Sunday. We're going to storm the gates of Cuyahoga National Forest. We're going to try to get as many people together as we can. We figure they can't stop everybody. So we're just going to try to walk across and go take a walk in the woods and see what happens. So
nice. I like that idea.
Yeah, we got a couple of people said they're going, but you know what happens, so
make sure everybody's got cameras.
Yeah, absolutely. We're gonna definitely have that going on. I was hoping for at least like 50 to 100 people, but I don't know. I've only had the event open for a week, so I don't know if that's enough time to really get everybody together or whatnot. But hopefully everybody will show up and we can show them who's fucking boss.
You might have to expand out to other groups, not necessarily cop block related groups, but like outdoors enthusiast type groups.
Yeah, my partner Arthur Vandelay he's put out the event page on like a whole bunch of other like different kinds of pages, all having related to like the Land of the Checkpoints page and the bunch of other pages like that. Finding justice against the police state and all those kind of things. You can find the event on Facebook. Didn't
you already cross over one of the barriers and walked around in the parking lot?
Yeah, I did alone. So there was 2 officers and I was by myself, so I couldn't really do too much. But I asked them. I said, "So what are you going to do if I disobey your orders and just keep walking? Are you going to tase me? Are you going to shoot me?" And they were like, "We'll do whatever's necessary." So I'm kind of getting prepared to get tased to take a walk in the woods.
I believe one of the friends of the show, he went to Gettysburg a couple days ago, and there were tons of people who were walking around, and they just parked on the side of the road and walked out onto the battlefield, and they didn't have any problems, last I heard, at least.
Yeah. I mean, they had that post on there everybody was commenting on. It's amazing the amount of people that come and be like, just let them do their jobs and blah, blah, blah. It's getting shut the hell up. The one guy on the Greater Cleveland YouTube page is telling me, what do you say? Oh, so the park's closed for a little while and trout season's just about over. I'm a little upset too. I'm like, yeah, but you ain't saying nothing about it, which is your fucking problem. So, I'm hoping to get a little bit more support than that.
Yeah, I would hope that more people would be able to do that. Like I said, I'm unfortunately an hour and a half away from anything like that, and I haven't heard of any significant closures in this area, considering that one of the national forests out here, they don't even have like a welcome center or anything, so it's not even, I don't think there's any even rangers there to begin with. At least I've never seen one. So it's not too hard to cross through that particular section.
Where this Cuyahoga National Forest is where we're going to go, there's there's Cleveland Metro Parks, and there's a road that runs through in between the Cleveland Metro Park and the Cuyahoga National Forest, and they're like, if you didn't, I mean, the gate is closed there, but if you didn't know, if there's not like rangers like right at the gate telling you not to go in there, you wouldn't know. You'd just be down there walking your dog, and you would just cross the road not knowing. And then they're down over by the parking lot, and then when you get down in there, that's when they get you and say, you got to go back out. So,
I've
Cleveland Metro Park is part of the, that's Cleveland's stuff, so that's not closed, that's not federal. But the forest is, but there's only, I mean, it's like public road separating the two, so,
Yeah, I've hiked the Appalachian Trail up here in Vermont where it crosses through some of the national forests, but you would never know what actual piece of land you're on unless you were specifically looking at a land map, because there's so many state parks and the national park like all interweave together, and there's sections where you're going through neither. They're just like local park or just a local easement or something. It's not like there's a sign that says you're now entering national forest land versus state forest land and going back and forth. It's kind of, you'd never know. So
yeah.
I'm curious if they have somebody just standing there on the AT waving people away. Nope, you can't go through here.
Yeah, so we'll see what happens on Sunday. Hopefully we get enough people to where two little park rangers are not going to be able to do too much.
Mm-hmm.
So, and hopefully we can film it.
Another group you might want to reach out to, Dio, would be probably your local Liberty on the Rocks group.
Okay.
Might be a good group to reach out to.
Yeah, I'll check him out. Like I said, my buddy Arthur, he's been posting it on like every different Facebook page and group there is. I mean, he's been posting it to motorcycle club groups and, open carry groups and all kinds of stuff. So, I told everybody bring their dogs too, see if they're willing to shoot some more dogs.
Well, then I wouldn't bring my dog.
Unless you have a really small dog, like if you have a Chihuahua or something, I think they'll be safe.
Yeah.
Well, no, they'll just tase those.
A good shot.
They just tase those ones.
One of my friends actually had a really good question. She was wondering if any of the bridges were still federally owned, and if there was any way that they would be shut down. How awesome would that be?
Most large new bridge projects are funded mostly federally, but I don't know if they're federally owned.
Yeah, they're federally funded, but as far as who the ownership would be.
Well, you'll find out.
So far we haven't really heard any interstates being shut down. You figure those would be the ones that would have the most federal interest in ownership.
Well, the truckers are supposed to shut down the one in D.C., right? So we'll see.
Yeah, I was reading up on that, and I've actually talked to a couple of truckers that I actually personally know. I've known for years, and they said they've, not to shy anybody away, but they said they've heard of things like this in the past many times, and most of the time they said it's an awesome idea and it'd be cool if it worked, but most of the time they just end up just fizzling out with anything to do with the truck drivers. Because you got so many truck drivers; these guys bust their ass every day to move these products to get paid, and if they don't move the product and they sit there, they're not getting paid, and they got to support their families. And so it's a hard thing for them to pull off fully without hurting themselves.
Yeah. And the rules are all fucked up too, because like you only have 11 hours to drive, but that includes dropping your shit off and picking your shit up and everything. So, a lot of times the people that work in the warehouses and shit, they're in no hurry to get any one trucker out of the warehouse any quicker than any other. So, you're sitting for like at least a half an hour, sometimes an hour, sometimes even longer, waiting for these guys to get the product on your truck. And then you got to go and falsify your records and say, well, it only took 15 minutes to load the truck. Otherwise, you don't make it home that night because you don't have enough time to drive your ass back home.
Yep. If you go over your time, you get in a lot of trouble.
Yeah, but not to mention if you get caught falsifying your fucking logs, you get in a lot of trouble too. So, you're like damned if you do or you're damned if you don't, because if you don't do it, you cannot make any money. You know.
Well, thanks a lot, Dio, for calling in. When is this happening? Is it this weekend?
Yeah, Sunday the 13th, high noon, at the border of Cuyahoga Forest and Brecksville Reservation.
Cool.
Sweet.
Call
thanks,
back
Dio.
and let us know how it goes. And we have to head to break, so stick with us through the break. You're listening to the Copblock Radio Show on FPRN. With all night to try, with all the presents.
In 1997, a high school shooting was stopped by a vice principal with a gun. In 1998, a middle school shooting was ended by a neighbor with a gun. In 2002, a terrorist attack was stopped by a school guard and a teacher with a gun. After September 11th, pilots began carrying guns to protect their passengers. Let's give our schools and teachers the same option. Sign the petition at defendschools.com.
Hi, I'm Trevor Moore. Due to the recent revelations that in order to fight terrorism, the NSA has been using a secret court order to spy on every single Verizon and AT&T customer, Americans have become outraged and concerned about their rights to privacy. But along with that concern comes a feeling of hopelessness. I mean, what can we do? Vote in new leaders? Well, the problem is that during an election, each candidate pretends to not be an asshole. Then when they get the job, they reveal that they've actually been a complete asshole this entire time. No, elections are of no use. The only way to fight back against our country's excessive wiretapping and data mining is to make it irrelevant. That's why we're launching Operation Everyone Talk Like a Terrorist all the time. If we all openly discuss terrorist plots in each of our phone conversations, then eavesdropping on those phone conversations becomes pointless. It's simple. We just need to work it into our daily vernacular. For example, instead of saying, "I love you," you could describe a terror attack. The larger the scale, the more you love the person.
Hi, Mom. I just got out of school. Can you pick me up?
I'll be there in 15 minutes. I'm gonna use a truck bomb to blow up the Brooklyn Bridge.
I'm yelling anthrax to Curious Morgan.
Or nonsense about God's will being great could mean affirmative.
Hey man, they have a 7:30 show, and do you think you can make it in time?
God is merciful and his love is unchanging. Did you already get me a ticket?
And those are just a few examples. You can make up your own. Have fun with it. But it's time for us to stand up and protect our rights. Because those assholes aren't going to.
At Damari Nolo Outfitters, we view the outdoors as our home, not a harsh wilderness. Our gear is chosen for adventure, not just in our backyard, but in the vast expanse of our amazing planet. Damari Nolo Outfitters carries the essential gear and tools you will need to live the empowering mindset of self-reliance. Our products are chosen especially for their durability and quality, and are carefully tested by our staff and associates. Our promise to you is we never offer any item for sale we don't use ourselves, so we can offer only what we know to be the best. Our online store makes it simple to browse through our high-quality lines of clothing, knives, tools, load carry gear, and accessories. We are committed to offering you the best American-made equipment on the market, a promise you'll see as we continually add new products. For more information about our products and blog posts to help you learn more about self-reliance and equipment, please visit www.damarinolo.com. That's DOMARI-NOLO.com. Damari Nolo, chosen for survival and adventure.
Hi, I'm Steve.
I'm Irene. I'm Lisa.
My name is Tom. I'm a graphic designer.
College freshman. Stay-at-home mom with a full-time job.
Scholar on social policy and a barista.
And I'm just like you.
I'm an Obama supporter.
I support President Obama.
But the president needs your help.
Our president can't launch into another war without you. And remember, we promise to support him no matter what.
Together, we can do it.
That's why we here at the Americans for Whatever Barack Obama Wants, Did You Know He's Friends with Jay-Z, have launched a Kickstarter campaign to fund World War III.
And America is dead-ass broke, so our goal is to raise $1.6 trillion on behalf of the U.S. government.
That's where you come in.
Even a small donation would make all the difference.
When I first saw the president speak in 2008, in a YouTube clip posted to my Facebook page, I knew he was going to be right all the time. So I support World War III and IV and any moon war the president may want to start.
I mean, there is no way that he or the cabal of corporate interests, spy agencies, and shadow bankers that tell him what to do would ever mislead us. A $25 donation will get you a piece of rubble from a war-torn Middle Eastern country kissed by Senator Lindsey Graham.
A $100 donation gets you a day pass to leave your local refugee camp.
You'll probably end up in a refugee camp, but it'll have free Wi-Fi.
So please, help us reach our goal of $1.6 trillion so we can make World War III a reality. Why? Because Obama.
Because Obama.
Thanks for listening to FPRN. Don't forget to check us out on Facebook and Twitter. If you'd like to start your own show with FPRN, advertise with us, or donate to the network or to your favorite shows, check out our website at www.fprnradio.com.
And welcome back to the CopBlock Radio Show live on FPRN and syndicated across the interwebs. Or you can download us as a podcast from FPRNradio.com. If you just go to the show page for CopBlock, you'll have a list of all the shows that you can download. You can download all the old shows and get a link to our show notes. So if we talk about a story and you're interested to find out more, we post the links there and the videos, so you can go check them out there. And what should be in the show notes this week, have you guys seen the story of the biker gang attacking the SUV in New York?
Oh, yeah.
Definitely.
So this is just a huge, crazy situation. Do either of you know more details about it? Because I'm kind of foggy on the original issue.
Go ahead.
Go ahead, Scott.
I mean, the way I understood it was, there was a large group of people in New York that were on motorcycles, and they had stopped in the middle of the roadway and essentially shut the road down. It looked like it was like a 3 or 4 lane highway, and I guess whenever they stopped to block the road, I don't know what the reasoning was behind it. They were kind of like encroaching on a guy who was in a Range Rover or whatever, and I don't know if they were threatening him or what, but I guess he felt that, in order to protect his family, he had to forcefully continue down the highway, which is pretty reasonable in my opinion. Whenever someone has the entire roadway blocked, and if they're, surrounding your vehicle, I think that, most reasonable person or people will be concerned. And, apparently he had run over 1 or 2 people, hurt them, I guess. Then the motorcycles basically took off after him, and they caught up to him, down the road, and there was a guy went up and tried to get him out of the vehicle by opening his car door, and the guy took off again, and I'm not sure if he ran over somebody then again or not, but then they caught up to him finally, and they broke his window out with their helmet. And then they, ripped the guy out and beat him up right in front of his family. That was part 1, I guess it would be.
Yeah, that would be part 1, yeah. And then more came out later.
Yeah, so if we can play clip 1.
Yeah, but wait, there's more.
News, not just one New York police officer are under investigation. Tonight we've learned at least 5 cops were in the pack during a violent case of biker road rage. Good evening. I'm Sade Better-en-Moi.
And I'm Bill Ritter. It's a blockbuster development tonight that we first reported on 7 Online. Police officers riding motorcycles in a group of attacking bikers, some of them witnessing the violence against a young family in their SUV.
Eyewitness News reporter N.J. Burkett broke this story. He's in Morningside Heights. N.J.?
And Sade, as you know, this is now a fast-moving investigation. A number of key developments tonight. Eyewitness News has just confirmed that the man that had been long sought for the last several days, who is accused of smashing the SUV window, Reginald Chance, has now surrendered to detectives for questioning here at the 33rd Precinct in Washington Heights. Just one of a number of developments tonight. We are outside the 33rd Precinct. The investigation is being headed up here. And yes, sources familiar with this case now say that there were several off-duty New York City police officers in that original pack of bikers. Did they directly intervene? No, it appears they did not. Were they in a position to intervene? That question is a part of this investigation tonight. Eyewitness News has learned that among the bikers on the Henry Hudson last weekend were 5 off-duty New York City police officers. Sources say at least 2 detectives witnessed the attack on Alexei and Leanne and did not directly intervene. And investigators are still working to determine what role, if any, was played by the other 3 officers. And detectives are also investigating reports that several others in the group may have been off-duty New York City correction officers. This evening, Robert Sims, the biker who first attempted to open the door of the SUV, turned himself in for questioning, and police seized this green motorcycle believed to belong to him. But the man who smashed open the window of the SUV had yet to surrender to detectives late tonight. And the man most seriously injured, biker Edwin Mieses, remained hospitalized tonight with a crushed spine. His attorney insists he was an innocent bystander trying to get control of the situation when he was struck by the SUV.
He tried to encourage people to move on and keep riding. He was attempting to defuse the situation. It tears me up that anyone could think that Edwin in any way deserves what happened to him.
And to be clear, we have just now confirmed that that man long sought for allegedly smashing the window of the SUV, Reginald Chance, has now surrendered to NYPD detectives. Again, this investigation has a number of moving parts. Yes, there were off-duty officers, we're told now, in that group. But where were they? What did they see? What could they have done? All of these questions now part of this fast-moving investigation. Live tonight at Washington Heights, and Jay Burke at Channel 7 Eyewitness News.
So it sounds like there were a bunch of cops in this crowd of bikers who stood by and did a whole lot of nothing.
Bunch of hoopla.
Right.
Just stood back and watched other civilians get beat up by bikers and did nothing.
Right, and were they undercover trying to expose this particular biker gang, or were they part of the group on their own volition? That's one of the interesting things that I would like to find out.
Yeah, it's kind of one of two. It's either they were basically spying on them and trying to infiltrate the group because they thought they were terrorists, or it was a group of their friends going out and getting wild and beating people up and not doing anything about it.
Yeah.
See, well, one thing that you guys, I don't know, I'm disappointed that they didn't do something because, that's what everybody would think that they're there for. But they have no duty to protect the private citizen. So I'm kind of like, conflicted on that.
Yeah, legally.
I think that it's BS that they're, in New York, you have no ability to defend yourself. If that would have been my vehicle and I would have been in the position where the person was opening my door, if you can't escape, you have the right to defend yourself and in whatever means necessary whenever someone's coming at you and trying to, harm you. The person didn't have that opportunity. So unfortunately somebody got run over. I really don't care.
Yeah, I don't blame the guy for running one of them over. Get your family out of there.
Yeah, they were talking about how this guy was trying to, he was trying to defuse the situation, but you're being held accountable for your actions, and unfortunately, I'm sorry that you were, the person who was hurt, but you were still part of this.
Mm-hmm.
Unfortunately, yeah, I don't know what to say about this other than they're just sitting by and letting things happen. I don't find that acceptable, and I would hope everybody else does not find that acceptable, because you're being forced to pay for this lack of service, and unfortunately this is about the best you're going to get out of them sometimes.
We investigated ourselves and found no wrongdoing.
Right. Why is the same, not just that it's law enforcement investigating themselves, but it's the same friggin' department. It's NYPD investigating NYPD. I don't know how anybody can see that as being unbiased investigation. But
I'm weird.
Right.
That's right, Eric. I stole money from your wallet, but I investigated myself, and I don't find that I did anything wrong.
Nope.
That was my money.
Yeah, I'm strangely comfortable with it.
Yeah, I didn't do nothing wrong.
So I don't know if you guys have anything else on that, or we can move on, I guess.
Yeah.
No.
I think we're good. I don't know. It's just the whole thing's ridiculous, and I think that people were mad about the wrong things, as usual. Also, nothing is going to happen to the cops. Gentleman's bet, $1.
$1. I'll match that $1. You're on.
You're on.
But I'm on the same side as you. I don't know.
So man, you gotta give me pretty good odds on the other side for me to even bother coming in for it.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, we can take calls if anybody wants to take or call in. And
anybody wants to take that bet. Well, I'll pay up in Bitcoin, $1.
There you go. I can do that too.
So yeah, if anything's going on with anybody else who wants to call in and talk about it, please do so. And
enter into our dollar Bitcoin challenge here.
Seriously.
It's actually $2 now.
Yeah, we're up to $2, man. That's a hell of a bet. That's a gentleman's bet. If you want to call in, the number is 567-314-9296. And as always, the Skype is at FPRN Radio Live.
Which is the preferred way, because it sounds so much better.
I know, it's, we like when people call in too, but man, it's just such a huge difference.
Though the phone hasn't been freaking out on as bad as it has been in the past.
Did you see what the producers just wrote?
I just talk about upping the ante.
Did you see that? They just up the bet to 20 Federal Reserve notes.
Nope. That's a bullet, man. You can't call that back. Sorry, producer.
Yeah. It's been announced live on air now. Oh, I don't care if you were joking. You're in.
So the producer, that's 22 FRNs coming your way.
That's right. Or 20 FRNs and 2 Bitcoin.
I'm not paying a whole Bitcoin. I'll pay $2 worth of Bitcoin.
Okay, there you go.
I'm the kind of guy that checks Bitcoin like 3 times a day.
The skyrocket. Oh, we haven't talked about that. About the Silk Road.
Oh man, Bitcoin's over 140 bones right now.
Is it really? It was at 125 this morning, right?
Yeah, it was below 135. Yeah, right. It hit 142 today. I'm telling you, man, I'm on that one. I don't know why.
Every time I wonder, I should just call you.
Just like, hey, yo, Scott, how much is Bitcoin? Hold on a second. Oh, it's this. Yeah.
I don't even know why they bothered taking down the Silk Road, because like Silk Road 2.0 is going to be up in like 20 minutes anyway. So
it's already up. I already seen some stuff on it. There's already a new one up.
What's it called? Like Sheep Road or something?
Yeah.
I think that's what I heard it was called.
Yeah, I think it's Sheep Road. Yeah. Already a new one to replace it. There's your free market. Beautiful.
And apparently it's programmed by the same person who programmed Silk Road anyways, so we should be okay.
Well, all right. Well,
at least that's what I heard. I may be completely wrong, but whatever. So it sounds like we have somebody else on the line, and this is the guy that goes out with me every Friday to go cop blocking. So is Centurion with us? Yay? No.
Hey, can you hear me?
Yeah, there you are. What's up, man?
Hey, how you doing? I just wanted to comment on this brotherhood that these police have. They're basically the same situation I was in 3 weeks ago with Eric. They'll stick together no matter what, so they'll probably already get their story all tainted by the time they get in front of internal affairs and in front of detectives and stuff. But that state is known for throwing cops in jail, so I don't know if your bet's going to be warranted.
Was that an I accept the challenge?
we weren't there, so there's really, you know, they're gonna lie through their teeth and just stick by each other, just like all the other cops do. But as far as doing something, I believe all the police officers in that whole state are, you know, under their oath, off duty or on duty. They have to protect the public no matter what, because they're all licensed by the state, just like they are in New Hampshire. But that conduct is just absolutely absurd. And if they got in front of me and surrounded me and my kid, I'd run them over. Not wanting to run them over, but to protect me and my family, I'm not stopping, especially if I'm in a Range Rover.
This is four-wheel drive for a reason.
that includes running over bodies.
Well, that includes running over dipshits that stop in the middle of a highway. I'm sorry, I was in a highway, but I felt that I just, you know, should pull over and park right in the middle of the road. I think that's called natural selection. And rant.
Yeah, well, I was in a similar situation where I got assaulted by a gentleman multiple times. A cop was literally sitting there watching the whole thing while Eric's behind me taping most of it, and I'm taping it. And it's just ridiculous how do they live with themselves and look at themselves in the mirror the next day? Yeah, I made a vow to protect people, but I'm just going to sit there and watch him get beat up, you know, because he's my friend. I'm going to stick by him no matter what, even if it's wrong. You know, they rather have that stupid little loyalty there, that brotherhood there, than they would to do the right thing. You know, and that's why they have people like us, you know, to watch them and videotape them. And because somebody videotaped the encounter, you know, now they're in trouble. And that's the whole thing. The video recording them is the 110% most important thing to do with these guys with badges, because they're going to let that power go to their head either way, because they're weak-minded individuals, most of them, and they can't handle that power. And the only thing they have in their whole entire life is that control, and they're going to violate that control no matter what. So they have to be videotaped, and they need to be held accountable while, you know, people videotape them. That's why it's important that, you know, in your city, in your town, go out once, twice a week avidly, because now we're seeing a change already in Keene. You know, I saw 13 stops of open container and public intoxication with no tickets issued, which is a huge difference from the previous week. It does work.
You guys have anything for Centurion?
No, man. Keep up the good work, though.
I have to say, you look awesome in your full outfit that you go out cop blocking in. That's what I have to say.
You like that?
Eric posted up that picture. I like that picture. It's awesome.
Yeah, I've been getting a lot of compliments on it. Some of the free staters don't like it, but, you know, they're afraid of that militia style.
Who cares what you look like, as long as you're geared up and ready to go.
Don't judge me.
Yep. I'm not judging. I think it's awesome. You're geared up and ready to do work.
It's extremely convenient and warm, especially when you're in the North Country, you know.
Oh, yeah.
And especially hanging out with Eric. I gotta keep up with him. He wipes me out.
I think it's time for you to upgrade to a geared bike that you can change gears on.
You got a one-speed, dude?
Never, ever. Unless I could steal one of the cop ones. Police
just take it. Be like, if that was my tax dollars anyway, give it to me.
I had to reappropriate your vehicle.
Yes.
Actually, I believe the ones they have are old stolen bikes that weren't
claimed.
That weren't claimed. That's exactly what they used.
These bikes weren't claimed. Also, we didn't ask if anybody owned them.
That tends to be the case, I guess. Maybe we should ask that next time next time we see the bike cops out, though. I think it's going to be too cold now. We're not going to see too many of them on bike until the spring.
Well, I'll be out on my BMX. I'll be rolling.
Maybe Eric should just get some pegs for his bike.
Oh, there you go.
And you can take it off the
I have a
sweet
mountain
jumps.
bike, so it's not going to work very well. So that's all right.
Yeah, you've been having problems with it the past 2 Fridays. I hope it's all fixed by now.
Yeah, I think I'm good now.
Especially for...
Well, the first
Yeah,
time
we're
was
gonna be riding
not the
30
result
degree weather.
of having a mountain bike. The first was that one of the douchebags let the air out of my tires. That really didn't have anything to do with it being a mountain bike.
I still can't figure out how they had time to do that. That's so weird.
Well, there's one other,
right
it
before
is
my
one other
bodyguard
kid,
came out.
not the guy who hit you. Is a couple other people who don't like us for some reason, and they were. Oh, that was great. I didn't mention that on the show yet, but we were out on Friday and we passed the same house where this incident happened, and there were people yelling off the porch at us. Get a job, get a regular 9 to 5. It's like it's 3 a.m. Why would I be at work right now? Okay. I don't work at 3 a.m, do you?
It must say something huge when people watch that video with an adult kid that's a senior in college making fun of my sneakers.
I'm so mad I can't find this picture right now.
I ride a Walmart.
What? A picture of him?
And say I
Yeah.
Oh, hold on.
Okay.
I wish we can clarify. I wish we can clarify. Yeah, that picture is just.
Yeah, unfortunately, I
wish
found
we
out
knew
the
who he was.
following week after I had already hacked my camera, but I didn't know how to bump it up one more exposure. But I do now, so hopefully the video will be a little brighter next time, and we won't have a problem. But
Yeah, I definitely need to to fix the infrared on mine because the low light is much worse than the one I used to have with the discs. And it would be, especially if we're going out at night, but we definitely need to do some daytime call blocking and, get some of the daytime guys because a lot of the daytime guys never work at night and, we need to get some pitches and, Keene is far from done. Even though they've been acting somewhat normal and decent to some of these kids the past 2 weeks, you're seeing a lot. I mean, if you look at the call logs, you're seeing a lot less tickets issued, a lot less fines issued, less people getting, picked up on those innocent things that just kids do when they're drunk and being stupid and having fun and, basically not doing anything to anybody except for, just sitting there with a beer. But to coerce them off of their public property onto the, from private property to public property and then nail them for it, that's just, stupid and borderline illegal, corruptive.
Yeah, that's BS, man.
Yeah,
unfortunately we haven't been there to record that part.
Yeah, he'll go up to a porch and he'll be like, "Hey, come here, can I see you?" While they're holding the beer in their hand. As soon as they step onto the sidewalk, he goes, "Give me your license." Blah 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 blah. And of course, we've been doing outreach, and people are familiar with what they're supposed to say and not to say, but a lot of them don't still. And you can't emphasize enough. Don't consent to searches because a closed container, is on your person, and the Fourth Amendment does apply to it. So you can say, no, you're not looking in my cup. You're not smelling my cup. Just step right back onto your property and say, listen, if you want to wake up a judge at 3:30 in the morning for a city ordinance, be my guest. But get a warrant.
And that judge will already be hammered anyway, so,
Yeah. No, I agree. But, these other towns, like I heard a story today, somebody sent me a message asking me and you to help him in Milford, New Hampshire, because his sister just got her teeth done or something. She's got a history of DUI or whatever, and the cops pulled her over and said they smell alcohol when it wasn't, and their blood test came negative, but they still charged her anyway. And that's that whole thing with that CAD thing, the computer-aided dispatch thing.
Well, I will see you out there on Friday or Saturday. I'm not sure which day I'll be out yet, but we'll make it.
Roger that. Dress warm. Hey, have a good night, guys.
All right, later. So we have to head to break. There's more CopBlock Radio Show on FPRN.
Mr. President, members of Congress, you've been making a lot of noise about taking our guns away. But you might want to review history. 1835, Gonzales, Texas Territory. The authorities wanted to confiscate the big gun that protected that colony. You know what the people said? Come and take it. Because they were willing to fight for their freedom and their guns. So are we.
Come and take it if you want it. Come and take it if you think you can. Come and take it, but I warn you, you'll have to pry it from my cold dead hands. We want the freedom that God gave us, so you best not cross that line. If you want this gun, you gotta come through us and take it.
One shot at a time. Just like Gonzales, we're keeping our guns.
Do you have a group or organization founded on the principles of personal liberty, health freedom, or accountable government? We invite you to check out Same Side Entertainment. Get connected with leaders in the liberty movement like Tom Woods, Kevin Gutzman, Jack Hunter, Robert Scott Bell, Michael Scheuer, and many more. Find us on Facebook, Twitter, and our website at www.samesideentertainment.com. Again, that's www.samesideentertainment.com. Same Side Entertainment, connecting you with the education and resources you need.
In every age, a technology is created that upends the foundations of society. The wheel, the printing press, the internet. Now, in a world sliding into financial chaos, a new technology is changing the way monetary systems work around the world. It is called Bitcoin. Bitcoin is a new form of money, controlled not by banks, governments, or corporations, but through mutual commerce between free individuals. To learn more, visit WeUseCoins.com.
You have reached the 911 emergency service. All operators are busy.
Oh God, please help me. He's got a knife.
You have reached the 911 emergency service. All operators are busy. Stay on the line for the next available emergency operator. You have reached the 911 emergency service. All operators are busy. Please stay on.
911 operator, what's your emergency, please? Hello? Hello?
Last year in the United States, thousands and thousands of 911 calls went unanswered. And if you call from a cell phone, there's no way to pinpoint where you are. Yet politicians like Dianne Feinstein call for more gun control. We have one question. Why do these politicians have armed bodyguards? Can't they just call 911?
Talk about a wake-up call. I was paying for all the doctor's visits, insurance premiums, and medical costs out of pocket. All these expenses were keeping me from living the carefree lifestyle that I wanted. Then the government told me about Obamacare. Now with Obamacare, I don't worry about my health care. I eat whatever I want, whenever I want. I get all my prescription drugs for free, and there's no more coverage gap. I no longer need to worry about pre-existing conditions. We can see any doctor whenever we want for any reason, and so can everyone else.
Obamacare is not for everyone, like Congressman. If you are already healthy, do not use Obamacare, as you will see your premiums go up. If you are a sick person, do not use Obamacare, as you will see your premiums go up. Many people on Obamacare may experience longer wait times and fewer doctors, and denial of your treatment of choice. If you are faced with a healthcare situation, you may be denied treatment through government rationing.
Obamacare even covers my kids up to age 26.
If you experience a recession lasting more than 4 years, stop taking Obamacare and contact a travel agent to move to the Bahamas or New Zealand.
And the best thing is that Obamacare is free.
Obamacare is not free. Obamacare will increase the national debt by $863 billion in 10 years. Your taxes will go up $569 billion by 2019. If you see a major jump in your premiums, you should opt out of Obamacare immediately. Opting out of Obamacare is illegal and will incur major fines and penalties unless you are a union member who received a special waiver from the Obama administration. Obama is not responsible for the negative effects on the economy, your pocketbook, your freedoms, or your health.
Obama solved all my problems.
Obamacare. Live your carefree lifestyle.
Thanks for listening to FPRN. Don't forget to check us out on Facebook and Twitter. If you'd like to start your own show with FPRN, advertise with us, or donate to the network or to your favorite shows, check out our website at www.fprnradio.com.
And welcome back to the Copblock Radio Show, live on FPRN and syndicated across the interwebs. Or you can download it as a podcast from FPRNradio.com. Or you can also see the show notes at copblock.org. I'll post it up there so you can see links to all the stories we talked about. And so Scott had to leave us for the night. He's been having a very busy work schedule, so now it's just down to me and Adam. So you'll have to make do. Yeah, I know, right? That sucks.
That's all right. We did this all for the first couple months of the show, so we can do this.
And unfortunately, he was the one who brought attention to this clip, and I think it's really it's really fitting to the topic at hand, and it's from the great social commentary show that is Family Guy. So if the producer can play that up.
You know, you got some nerve driving around my town with a busted headlight and a busted windshield and an untreated flesh wound. You took an oath just the same as me, Sheriff. To protect and serve, not to harass and douche. Just because you have a badge doesn't mean you can treat people any way you like. And as a law enforcement professional, you have an obligation to be more ethically upstanding than the average man, not less. Now get the hell out of my town.
So I think that's a pretty fitting monologue from Joe. Not only does he be a douchebag himself, but then he says that he's talking to a police officer who abused him down south, not down south on his body, but actually in south of the United States.
I'm sorry, that
I know that
funny.
sounded completely wrong after I said it. I'm like, oh, that's not what I meant. And he says, cops should be held to a higher standard than the average man, and he was not upholding that standard, so he told him to get the hell out of his town.
Great clip. Sounds beautiful. Only if there was more cops like that would run around and bust other cops' headlights and yell at them about it.
That'd be great.
That could be funny stuff.
I saw some article, but I never got around to reading it or watching the video, but some news agency basically set up a speed trap for cops, and they're recording all the cops speeding and whatnot without their lights on. Well, I mean their emergency lights on, and breaking various laws. So I need to circle back and check that out, but that should be interesting.
Yeah, you got to grab that and show that off next week.
Have you been paying attention to photography is not a crime?
I actually talked to Carlos the other day about bringing him back on the show. He said he's busy writing. I think he's writing his book.
Oh yeah, he's writing a book. So that'll be.
So he said hopefully next month he would come on when he was all finished up with it. So we'll bring him back on and touch base with him.
Cool. Yeah, I mean, so much has been going on down in the Hialeah area with Juan Santana, who is a listener of the show, and he's called in before, and we've talked to him. He's actually running for mayor, I believe, and recently they got kicked out of the I believe it was City Hall. They were making a public records request, and Florida has a pretty, I guess liberal's the word, liberal records request law. So you can go in and you can simply ask for the public record you would like to see, and they have to provide it. And in this case, I think they were just trying to get a visitor's log, which is public record. And they were filming, and the city manager, I believe, didn't like that very much, and they got kicked out, and they got the police called on them, and the police came and, were trying to identify them, and unfortunately, a lot of them eventually gave in and handed over ID, because it looked like it looked like it was not going to end if they continued to refuse ID. It was it kind of
cop doesn't understand the law and won't give up.
Right, exactly.
Yep.
So I'd encourage our listeners to head over to photographyisnotacrime.com. There have been a lot of videos in the past week or two of citizens recording the police, and the police being very unhappy with that situation. There was one, I believe it was in Philadelphia. I should actually probably just look it up now that I'm here. But there was one where the cop claimed that it was against policy to be recorded while on the job. Yeah. That it's like, well, your policy can say one thing, it doesn't mean it's legal. This just says Pennsylvania, I believe. So this was an interesting story because one individual called to say that somebody hit his car and drove off, and his friend was recording when the police showed up to take the report, and the police officer refused to take the report, got back in his car, and drove off when this person was trying to report a hit and run because he needs a report for his insurance company and all that jazz. And the citizen then called the desk sergeant to complain and was told it was departmental policy not to be recorded. Which, it's like, well, that is against the First Amendment last I checked, and against every court case who has ever ruled on it. And apparently this was in Lancaster, Pennsylvania. So the police refused to take his hit and run report because his friend was recording on his camera.
Wow. It's just ridiculous. I don't understand why they have to fight so much about being recorded. I'm like, half of these cities that you're in where they complain about us recording them, you could turn around and probably find a security camera on a building pointed at you. I mean, like, well, why are you complaining about me recording? You got 3 other cameras pointed at you right now.
Right, and then in your neck of the woods, there was a reporter
that's Boise, a little ways away, not too bad. But...
Well, in Seattle.
Oh, there's one in Seattle too. Yeah, I saw that one too.
Yeah, there's one in Seattle where a reporter was being yelled at by the cops because he was taking pictures, and he was standing away from the scene on a public sidewalk, and they were claiming that it was private property because the Seattle Metro owned it. It's like, it's a sidewalk. It's not public property, and if it's the Seattle Metro, is the Seattle Metro a public service? I don't know if it's private or not, but anyways,
from what I understand, it's completely public.
Right. So they were trying to kick him off the sidewalk. So he got into it with them, and I guess he FOIA'd one of the dash cams, and the dash cam was tied to one of the cops' body mics and picked up the whole conversation, which is a really interesting one. You should go check that out. That's on right on the front page right now of Photography is Not a Crime. It's
I'm grabbing the link right now.
Down.
Post it in the chat.
Fifth one down.
There you go. There's a link in the chat now for it.
Yeah, and then so there's the one in Lancaster, and then somebody from InfoWars went out to some NSA location in Utah, and we're recording in the parking lot.
I've watched that video. That one's pretty. It's entertaining. Doesn't mean the guy that's trying to defend himself for recording does a beautiful job of defending himself and his reasons and rights to be able to record. But yeah, the officers don't want to hear it at all.
Yeah, although some of the things he was saying wasn't very good. I wish he changed a few things, but when you're there,
that's part of the InfoWars crew, though. They tend to push the limits a little bit sometimes.
Well, it wasn't even that. They didn't say some of the stuff that they should have. Yeah. Like, they just kind of kept going down the same avenue, but they didn't hit on any of the other topics that they should have. Not that they backed down too early or anything. I'm just saying that they went down some of the routes that it would have been more helpful or even more entertaining or valuable to see them take some of the routes, like show me the law that's the case. Because one of the agents said that it is against the law to record on federally owned property, which is like, no, it's not.
Shame on you.
Yes, thank you, W.
Oh yeah.
Now you totally threw me off.
We should get a clip of him with his interwebs or internets. So when you're talking about that, we can just play that for you.
And then, as you alluded to, there was the current top story is from Boise, Idaho, where a guy is recording a police stop, and the policewoman is really unhappy with that and grabs his arm because he wouldn't show her ID, even though he was standing 50 feet away from the traffic stop that he was filming. In the end, he didn't hand over any identification or anything, so I think he stuck to his guns pretty well, and in the end, they got nothing from him, and he got good video, so that's a win right there.
That is a win. When you don't go to jail and you get some good video, that's a win.
Definitely. Unfortunately, there was a woman in Hawaii who is recording a foreclosure hearing, and she got forcibly removed from the courtroom where the hearing was taking place because she was recording. Though, I guess she, according to their rules, she needed to make a request ahead of time to be able to take photographs or video in the court.
Really?
So I'm not, yeah. So they threw her out.
Nice public building that's taxpayer funded, and you can't express First Amendment rights in there.
All right. Good stuff. I don't know why you have to ask permission to report.
Well, document, observe and document is what you're doing.
Right.
Which is what they do. I mean, that's why they have the key logger person or whatever. That's documentation, and you're just doing it too.
So you can head over to Photography is Not a Crime and see all those stories. It's one of my favorite blogs about the topic, and I guess I'm not surprised that he has a never-ending supply of stories coming in, though it just saddens me that that's the case. As successful as the blog is with stories coming in constantly, it's kind of one of those sites you wish didn't have to exist.
Yeah, no, because he's got stuff every day, and just tons of stuff. It's sad to see them all because you're like, holy crap, this is happening every day all over the place, and it's huge.
So yeah, it's such a great site, and I hope we can talk to Carlos when he's
Yeah, he said he was more than happy to come back. He said he was just so busy with the book and running the site and everything. Yeah, he said once it calmed down a little bit, he'd be more than happy to come on again.
Cool.
So.
Yeah, he was. I think he was one of my favorite interviews that we did when we were doing our interview series early on in the show.
It was. I think, yeah. Him and Derek J were awesome interviews for our first ones. Those were great interviews.
We'll
for
have to
doing
pull
them
the
on
audio at some
Google
point
Plus.
and put those up separately because they're currently just out on YouTube. But we need to pull the audio for those. That'd be great.
Yeah, we could. We could pull the audio and have them played it as repeats on here. So, I don't know about you. I really don't know anything. I've been trying to find some stuff and haven't found stuff. But supposedly, Jeffrey, is it, how do you say his last name? Winehouse?
Yeah.
Okay. So his court date started, on the 8th, so yesterday.
Oh, crap, I forgot all about that.
And it started yesterday, and it's supposed to be a 3-day court trial. And yeah, I haven't seen any sort of update yet as of the first day's anything yet.
Yeah, I'm a mile behind in my RSS feed. Shamefully, I'm just way behind. I wish I wasn't, but I am. I mean, since I moved here, I find myself I'm so friggin' involved that I have no time to sit down and collect. Like, it's just too much at this point. So I do the show. I go out every Friday and do CopBlock for between 6 and 8 hours on Friday nights. And then I just have all the other activism going on around me, and I feel like it's nonstop. Like I'm never sitting still. Like I work my regular 8 to 4:30 job, and then from then till when I go to bed, it's various forms of activism. And my wife's getting pissed about it, but that's that's a whole different topic. But
that's how I felt the last couple of weeks. It's been crazy, finishing up, moving, and then I've been just doing nothing but running around trying to get stuff done. And it's like, holy crap. I never stop until I lay down to go to bed.
Centurion wants me to come out on Saturday nights, but it's like, I can go out on Friday nights because my wife works Saturday morning until 2 in the afternoon. So it's not a big deal if I'm sleeping during that time, but I can't go out on Saturday night because if I'm sleeping all day Sunday, then she's going to be mad because that's the only day that we have together because the rest of the time she's working after I get off work. So, it's just like, the one day I can't, but hopefully she starts a job she'll be starting to work on Sunday morning, so maybe I'll be able to go out Fridays and Saturday nights.
He's like, hopefully she works then.
So we'll see. But yeah, I feel like I'm just going nonstop. Like I don't sit down from when I get up at 7 in the morning until I go to bed after midnight. It's like every single day. It's just go, 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 go. Even if I'm sitting behind a computer, I feel like I'm just on the run.
All right, so I found a small update on the trial for Jeffrey, and I'm confused on this. I didn't even know this had happened, but supposedly there was a warrant to search the residence of his house, and they found 2 pills and marijuana that were seized, and the pills were tested positive for containing morphine.
When did that search take place?
That's what I'm trying to figure out here. But yeah, it says that there was a police warrant and it was served at his residence, and they searched his house. What reason did they have to search his freaking house? They shot the crap out of him.
Well, I think that was after they shot him. I think it was.
How do you get a warrant to search his house after you shot a man?
Right.
What gives you reason to go into his house?
Wait, weren't they trying to return some of his stuff that they had already taken from a search of his house?
I have no idea, but I don't understand.
I think they were returning like a computer or something, and or at least that's the story they gave to him for him to show up. When
I know he was meeting them originally. Yeah,
right. I think he was originally meeting them to get some stuff back, and then that's when they shot him. So it could have been from that original search that turned up what they're now charging him with on top of what they've already done to him. So, yeah. Other than that, I haven't been following the story too closely. I mean, it's running. We're over a year since the original shooting happened, and has been relatively quiet for most of 2013.
It has, yes. I'm going to post the link to the article from Copblock.org, and in the comments there's an update from username John Q Public. It's about halfway down in the comments. It's a big old long thing. It talks about the first day of the trial.
Yeah, and there should be a link at the bottom that gives you the full. Well, I don't know which link you're posting up. I'll link the one to the entire timeline of the situation. The most recent is from September 4th. That talked about the pre-trial, and then that the 3-day jury trial was beginning yesterday. So I have yet to see anything about the trial. Do you have anything specifically about the trial?
It talks about all-white jury of 9 females, 3 males. Heard opening arguments from both Franklin County prosecuting attorney and Hugh Eastwood, which is Winehouse's attorney. They also got testimony played of the video that video that came out in August of 2012, the Party's Over video from YouTube. Let's see.
I guess I'm wondering, is there anybody recording the trial?
I have no idea. Parks also played the video from the watch camera that Winehouse was wearing during the confrontation.
Oh, that would be interesting to see.
Yeah, Folsom testified during the trial that he fired his gun after Winehouse allegedly reached for the pistol that was holstered at his side. The video from which was on his wrist didn't give a clear perspective of the scene, but contained audio of Folsom telling Winehouse to get on the ground. Winehouse could be heard on the video saying what sounded like, this is a quote, and this is what they're saying it sounds like, "You're going to have to shoot me," after which shots can be heard from the video before Winehouse fell to the ground.
Yeah, that's one of the problems that I have with the audio that was put out. And
because I don't remember that on that audio phone call recording that came out.
I do. I remember that part. And the reason I remember that original recording is because when they put it out, they put text in the video.
Oh, okay.
Which right there, if anybody knows anything about psychology and something called pareidolia, pareidolia is, or at least visual pareidolia, is basically our ability to see faces in inanimate objects. So think like seeing the face on Mars, that famous photo, that's just shadows being cast. That's called pareidolia. But we also have auditory pareidolia, which you see in ghost hunting videos all the time, where they're listening to static and they say, "Did you hear that?" And then they say what they think they heard, and then when you listen to it again, you hear it.
Yeah.
It's kind of that auditory thing to make out what you think is there, or to have some preconceived notion of what audio you're supposed to hear. So I wish they released it without putting text on it, because putting the text on it then forces your brain to hear what they want you to hear, and it's not necessarily what they are actually saying.
Should feed it into a computer that'll recognize speech. See what the computer comes up with.
Yeah, maybe. But yeah, it's one of those things. It's one of those weird brain things that I think people didn't like. Yeah, I don't know if that's actually what's on the video or what's on the audio. The audio is so fuzzy that yeah, you could tell me that they're saying this, and I could probably believe you that that's what you think you hear. It's not necessarily what's there, which is kind of a problem, at least in this case, because the audio is just so bad. But we have to go to break. After the break, there's more CopBlock Radio Show. You're listening to the CopBlock Radio Show on FPRN.
Tired of living in a violent society? If every citizen was armed, no one would be dumb enough to shoot people. It's exactly the ethos our founding fathers had when they wrote the Constitution and then changed it, which is what makes it sacred now. Come mingle with safety-minded people like you at the Liberty City Gun Club. Our nation is still the world leader in one thing: armaments. Nothing says excitement like a night out with a small caliber semi-automatic weapon. Get social at the Liberty City Gun Club.
Well, yeah, it's getting tough out there. Yeah, no doubt. I work in home invasions, mostly. Some murder, occasional rape, if she's hot, or really bitchy. And I'm a huge advocate of gun control, absolutely. Every time I kick in a door or smash a window, I face the possibility of being shot and killed. Allowing citizens to own guns creates a hostile work environment for me and my associates. No one should have to work under those conditions. I say make them all illegal, absolutely. I mean, I break the law for a living. I'm a professional, so it doesn't really bother me. No doubt. No doubt.
Your local violent criminals work hard and put their lives on the line every time they attempt to murder, rape, abduct, or assault a member of the citizenry. They desperately need your help. With your support, there may finally come a day when a violent criminal can have his way with you or someone you love without the fear, anxiety, and stress caused by knowing there's a possibility his victim might be armed. Please show your support by voting for stronger anti-gun legislation, because criminals prefer unarmed citizens.
In every age, a technology is created that upends the foundations of society: the wheel, the printing press, the internet. Now, in a world sliding into financial chaos, a new technology is changing the way monetary systems work around the world. It is called Bitcoin. Bitcoin is a new form of money, controlled not by banks, governments, or corporations, but through mutual commerce between free individuals. To learn more, visit weusecoins.com.
Do you have a group or organization founded on the principles of personal liberty, health freedom, or accountable government? We invite you to check out Same Side Entertainment. Same Side is a source for activists and liberty organizations to connect with well-known leaders in today's growing movement for sustainable living, personal liberty, and sovereignty issues. Same Side has a variety of keynote speakers, debate panels, interactive web presentations, musicians, and liberty-based entertainment, as well as services for web design, graphic design, video, and photography. Same Side can help customize your event by connecting you to the best of the liberty and political world while staying within your budget. Get connected with leaders in the liberty movement like Tom Woods, Kevin Gutzman, Jack Hunter, Robert Scott Bell, Bob Murphy, Michael Scheuer, John Bush, Jordan Page, Tatiana Moroz, and many more. Find us on Facebook, Twitter, and our website at www.samesideentertainment.com. Again, that's www.samesideentertainment.com. Same Side Entertainment, connecting you with the education and resources you need.
To think something so small could control you.
And everything you do.
When your life and all you love
are on the line.
The RFID chip is always with you, threatening your privacy, causing severe risk to your health and personal safety, and killing you if you do not obey rogue government demands.
Because I want to increase my risk of cancer.
Because I want to live in a cash-free society.
Because now the government is looking out for us.
Because I have the mark of the beast, but it doesn't have me.
Ask your doctor how to get your chip implanted today.
because we want to track your every move.
Thanks for listening to FPRN. Don't forget to check us out on Facebook and Twitter. If you'd like to start your own show with FPRN, advertise with us, or donate to the network or to your favorite shows, check out our website at www.fprnradio.com.
What's the truth if not a soul knows it, condones, interprets it to use and won't hone it in? What's to lose when profits no notion? Our own wishes, moments we hold that hope grows in.
And welcome back to the Copblock Radio Show on FPRN Radio. And we are live every Wednesday night at 9:30 Eastern, 6:30 Pacific. And if you join us live, then you can join us in the chat, which is live, and we read throughout the show, and sometimes, if we're good, communicate with those in the chat and answer questions, because sometimes we're bad at doing that.
We try.
We need to get better at, yeah. And also, we have the ability to take your phone calls. So if you want to call in, it's 567-314-9296, and then hit 1234 pound, and the producer will get you in the queue. Or the preferred method, which is Skype, because it sounds so much better. Just add FPRN Radio Live, all one word, and the producers will add you back, and then you can get a hold of us that way and come on to the show. Let us know what's going on in your neck of the woods, or if you have a question or something like that. I wish we would have. There's a lady who posted on the Keen Cop Block Facebook page, and she lives on one of the streets that has a lot of college kids, which kind of sucks. I get where she's coming from on some of it, because there weren't always college kids there, and unfortunately, Keene State College is known as a pretty much a party school. You don't come here if you're a genius. It's not the place of brains, unfortunately. So there's a lot of partying going on, and she lives on one of the more densely college house streets, I guess. And she was confusing what we consider victimless crimes with crimes that have victims. I think she's accusing us of more than what we're actually about, and one of the things she accused us as being a victimless crime was people getting in fights, or people peeing in her front yard, or leaving trash in her front yard and whatnot. It's like, well, no, you have been wronged if that's the case. We don't consider that a victimless crime if somebody is damaging your property or in some way encroaching on you.
Well, that's your property. I mean, they're walking on your property. That's your property. They shouldn't be there.
Right. We don't support people destroying fences or leaving trash in other people's yards or trespassing on somebody's property who doesn't want you there. That's not what we're about, and I can understand if people are being ridiculously loud at midnight and basically encroaching into your little sound bubble, if you will. I understand that. It's kind of a gray area. I know some people consider noise ordinances not consider those a victimless crime, but I'm of the opinion that that does have.
It's called respect.
Right. If you're encroaching into somebody's life, even if it's through sound waves, I believe that can be a problem. So I don't support that either as being bad neighbors or bothering your neighbors. I don't find that couth. So.
No, that's not very cool. So you're disturbing your neighbors. I mean, they need to be able to live peacefully.
Right. Well, one of the things that we do consider a victimless crime is somebody who's maybe 19 and has a beer. If they're not causing a problem and not hurting anybody else or being loud, then what's the friggin' problem? And having an open container of alcohol in public, like right on the public sidewalk. A lot of these houses, the porch, if you step off the porch, you are on the public sidewalk. Like, there's no way around it on some of these houses. They're so close to the road. And there is a city ordinance about having an open container in public. So the second you step on the sidewalk, you are now in violation and you get hit with that. So it's ridiculous. If I have a beer in my hand and want to walk from my house across the street to my friend's house, I don't see how that can possibly be a problem if I'm not staggering around drunk and smashing into cars or damaging somebody's property, and I'm perfectly fine to walk across the street. I don't see how that can possibly be an issue. But this lady somehow thinks that that's an issue, and it's the good old, well, it's against the law, so don't do it. It's like, well, that doesn't really matter because if the law is wrong, then why would you follow it? Yeah. I mean, here it's illegal to play sports on Sundays. That law never gets enforced. It's still on the books, though. But
that's hilarious.
Yeah. And it's also
another hilarious one, though. Is Dio pointed out just in the chat that the seatbelt laws he's calling that a victimless crime. I consider the seatbelt law a violation of your constitutional rights of freedom of choice.
Right. That's the one thing that we have here.
Crime.
We don't have a over 18 seatbelt or helmet law. So if you're over 18, we don't have that law here. Though under 18, you are required, which is kind of weird. So there's that one little freedom that we have here. But unfortunately, the city has put into place the open container ordinance that they get tons of people on. Unlawful possession. So possession by someone under the age of 21 of alcohol is huge, and they make bank on that, especially when they come here. What's this that he's posting? There's a PA law. A special cleaning ordinance bans housewives from hiding dirt and dust under a rug in a dwelling. That's interesting. So you are literally, it's illegal to sweep it under the rug. That's good.
It is illegal to sweep on top of a refrigerator outdoors also, huh?
Nice. Yeah, there used to be, until pretty recently, I believe, in New Hampshire, you were required to bring your firearm to church on Sundays in case the Indians attacked. And I don't think that's been repealed probably in the last 20 years, so it managed to last that long. It was very fun. But currently, it's illegal to urinate while looking up on a Sunday. So there are a couple things you have to do on
Christian
Sundays
laws.
here.
You know that.
What?
With the whole Sunday thing. It's very Christian-oriented law.
Yeah.
But we have a caller. Janelle's calling in to give us an awesome update on the Ladies of CopBlock calendar and the whole promo for it. So, Janelle, are you there?
I'm here.
How you doing, Janelle?
I'm good. How are you guys?
Good to hear from you. So here you got an update for us?
Yeah, the Kickstarter is going to begin tomorrow or the next day. We have a kind of a cool promo video that we did for it. But we're looking at trying to get like $750 donations altogether, just for different costs, printing and videography, editing, graphics, all that kind of thing. We have a logo, but Lauren Faulkner from Baltimore CopBlock, she's the one who thought this up, and we managed somehow to find 12 cop watchers in the nation. It was hard to do. It really was. It was very hard to do, to find actual active cop blockers, females.
That's
in
sad.
In
Come
the
on,
entire
ladies.
nation. So we're all over. But anyway, yeah, we're gonna have a 2014 calendar, and it'll be out in November. And we're gonna do the Kickstarter, and with the donations, we're gonna have ads and different supporters and things. So, and it's kind of just the beginning of an entire idea of empowering everyone to be able to police the police. So
no, it's awesome.
It's kind of exciting. Yeah, and it's fun too. So
it is, but it is. I agree with you there, Eric. It is sad that it was that hard to find 12 ladies.
Yeah, it was weird. It was weird.
Don't women outnumber men now in this country? I thought women outnumbered men.
Women have always outnumbered men in the entire population of the world.
Well, there you go. See what's the problem here? What's going on?
I don't know. I don't know. So I think maybe females are less likely to, maybe they're more likely to be intimidated by males that they think are in authority. I have no idea.
Well, it seems to be that women tend to be underrepresented in a lot of the political arena.
That's true.
And we see that heavily in like the liberty movement.
It is kind of a guys' club, to be honest with you, and it's not meant to be that way, but it just is.
We're open to having women on.
I know. And we get treated, with total respect and kindness and nothing special, but, we're just part of it. But,
well, if a woman shows up, the guys don't want her to leave.
Well, I know.
I wouldn't. You're probably the only one that's not getting arrested here. I'm giving you my camera.
I did get threatened, though. I got threatened, and you can see it on the video camera, too. He comes really close to pushing me, and I was just on a sidewalk. But that's the worst that's happened to me so far as cop blocking, is getting threatened to be detained on a sidewalk, on a public sidewalk. But yeah. Anyway, so it should be pretty exciting. We have 12 girls. I keep saying, oh, good, we have 12 girls. And Lauren thought of this, it was like we were talking one night and she thought of it. We started talking about it, and it just, I don't know, it opened a whole new perspective on things and different things that maybe we can do in the future too,
I like in the promo video, she has her scooter and she's wearing the CopBlock sweatshirt, and on her helmet she has stickers all over it. It's great.
When did you see the promo video?
I posted a link in the chat a minute ago. They posted up the
promo
video earlier. Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Got a sneak peek.
I didn't know that I was allowed to do that yet. But the
maybe you're not.
Awesome.
Maybe we unfortunately let the cat out of the bag.
Shame on you.
Well, that's what it is. I mean, basically what I explained to you, except in more detail, and you can see all of us who are in the calendar or whatever, just like smiling, or, Meg is kissing her dog, and, just the 12 cop blockers that we could find in the nation. So anyway, it should be good. And we're hoping to get enough donations because we really, really want to do this. And I know Lauren, she's put a lot of work into it, and some of us have, hopefully helped her along the way.
How many extra, days you should know type days are there? I know Lauren mentioned the Rodney King verdict day and stuff like that.
Oh, you mean like events on the calendar?
Yeah.
Yeah. We're going to have holidays
like today
that.
in history type stuff.
Right. And then also events that happen yearly we'll have. And some of our sponsors will have their events on there. You know what I mean?
Nice.
So different Liberty festivals and CopBlock events, things that happen yearly, tours and all of that. So
things that have already been announced.
Huh?
Things that have already been announced and have a set date.
Right, but you might want to set your calendar. You know what I mean? Right. So you might as well just have a CopBlock calendar.
Nice.
So where can people go to check out and support or donate or anything like that for you guys?
Well, as soon as the Kickstarter comes out, and that should be tomorrow or the next day. And so we'll probably have it posted everywhere. We'll have something in the, copblock.org, and I'm sure it'll be pretty much everywhere.
Nice. So make sure you send us the link so we can get it up on our page.
Yes, I definitely will. So it'll be good, and we're going to have a couple more promos, just kind of as time goes along. So and gifts for donators and all kinds of stuff. So
awesome.
Yeah, pretty exciting.
Cool.
So
yeah, that'll be really cool to get that out.
Yeah, and we're all working together. It's neat. So.
Do you have a decent projection on hitting your Kickstarter goal?
Do what?
Do you have a decent idea of you being able to hit your Kickstarter goal?
Well, we're saying $750, but I almost kind of wonder if it wouldn't be double that sometimes. I don't know. It just kind of depends on what we see the want for. So I think it's a good idea. I think we're going to do it yearly. So
nice. So when are you guys hoping to reach your goal of $750? Like by when?
By the probably by the very beginning of November, which is not very long. But we'd like to have them out by the end of November, printed and out and ready to go. Nice. So, like for Christmas and, a Christmas calendar. Here, have a CopBlock.
There you go.
Ladies CopBlock Christmas calendar. So, and you can see the logo in there. I don't know if you saw that. Ladies of CopBlock, that's the official logo.
Very nice.
In the promo video. So.
Oh yeah, the logo. Yeah, I've seen the logo. Yeah.
Yeah, and so I think we're going to.
Who did that logo anyway?
Yeah. So.
Do you know who did the logo?
Actually, Mr. Janelle, Danny did, the founder of KCK CopBlock. So, he's right here. He's on the computer doing CopBlock things. So.
Very awesome. Well, good luck for raising your money for that. I hope you guys reach it and we can get this calendar out.
Yes, thank you. Thanks for letting me tell everybody about it.
Yeah, not a problem. I always enjoy having you come on.
Yes, I love listening. So, we will talk to you guys soon.
Oh, yeah. Right. Look forward to it.
Okay.
See ya.
Bye.
So, yeah, that'll be cool to have out, and it's awesome that Lauren decided to take the reins on that and go forward with that. We had her on the show in the past when she started up the Baltimore CopBlock after she visited Pete Porkfest.
Yep. No, that's awesome. She totally took the reins and just totally went with this and just made it happen. It was just a small idea. Hey, let's make a calendar, and she's got it in full motion. And it looks like it's going to work out well. So I'm pretty stoked. I'm definitely going to buy one.
Yeah, it'll be nice to have all the important days on there.
Yes, that'll be nice.
Unfortunately, I don't think they're going to have the date for Porkfest by the time the calendar comes out. Right now, they still don't have the next year's date nailed down. Unfortunately.
Yeah, you got to figure that out for me so I can save some money now so I can buy tickets.
Well, most likely it's going to be June. Right. June or July.
I should be square away on financially capable of pulling that one off by then.
Nice.
So hopefully
we just need to get
over there and
the rest we need to get the FPRN crew up and get Scott up here, and we could actually do a live CopBlock radio from Porkfest. That'd be freaking sweet.
That would be so awesome to do. Because we got to have our Freedom Beef barbecuer up there. And we could hand out free Freedom Beef while doing the show.
We can make up the recipe that I typed up, though I don't know how good it will be. I should probably make it first.
It was an awesome recipe. I loved it. I thought it was good stuff.
I have to try it first, I guess. But we'll see.
All right. Well, you make it and try it and tell me how it is.
But yeah, it'd be good. I know Keenvention's coming up here. That Ian Freeman's putting together.
Yep.
It's pretty much just a Liberty Forum type thing, but it actually happens in the fall when, New Hampshire is pretty nice at that point in time. I took a really nice photo of the foliage a few days ago. Maybe I'll add that to be like, hey, this is what you get when you're here. But I know that's coming up. There's going to be some pretty good speakers. There's going to be a direct action panel, a Ladies of Liberty panel, and that's on November 1st, 2nd, and 3rd. So if you ever wanted to make a trip to Keene to see what's going on, you can head up there. There's a lot of going out of the venue, so you can kind of make your way around the town, and I think James Cleveland is going to be doing Robin Hooding. So if you everybody comes out, we can have a ton of Robin Hooders. That'll be awesome.
That could be really cool.
And what's really
cool
about
know what to do.
Yeah, what's really nice about this is that a lot of the panels are going to be. Usually the panels are like 50 minutes at like these conventions, but they're always too short. Everybody always complains that they're always too short, and then when they start taking questions, it just like lengthens it out. So actually the panels are going to be scheduled for 75 minutes instead of the normal 50. So they're pretty much 50% longer than the panels at other things like PorcFest and Liberty Forum and whatnot. So that'd be nice to give a little bit of buffer that people usually overrun and people hate to leave because there's always stuff going on. So
it never hurts to give them extra time, so if they finish early, you're ahead of schedule. That's always good stuff.
yeah, it sucks getting rushed out of there. I'd rather have much more time left over. But yeah, there's the ladies in media. That's what it is, ladies in media. Then the old school New Hampshire panel, which is a bunch of natives of New Hampshire or really early movers. And then there's a direct action panel, which I heard rumblings that I may be on, but I'm not 100% sure. Nobody's told me.
I don't know. Yeah.
Maybe I'll be there. And Derek J will be there presenting a civil disobedience panel, which is going to be really cool. So,
have you ever actually met Derek J in person?
I haven't met him in person yet, unfortunately.
Oh,
so
that would be cool.
Yeah, I'll finally get to when he's up here for Keenvention. So if anybody wants to find more of that, you can go to keenvention.info, or you can just go to freekeen.com and there'll be a link there too. So I'm looking forward to seeing who's gonna be there. So it'll be fun, especially if I'm on a panel that I don't know about that I'm actually on yet.
That would just make it even more fun.
Right, I see it on the schedule. There's cop blocking from 7 p.m. to the next morning.
All night.
So apparently I am going to be part of it, but I just haven't been formally said that I'm going to. But it sounds like I will be, because that's what I do on Fridays. So
nice, very cool.
So yeah, people should check that out. But have you watched any of the Robin Hood trial footage yet?
Not yet. No, I haven't had a chance.
Yeah,
like you said, I'm just running full bore. Haven't had time to do crap.
I know. I've been watching it while I've been working, because I can just listen to it, because there's not a whole lot that I have to actually watch. But if you go to Freeman TV Raw, that's FR33 Man TV Raw. He's uploading. I believe Garrett or Ian is uploading everything that's happened. Day 2 of the trial is up. Day 1 of the trial that happened back in August is up. I don't think they've started uploading the 3rd day yet, but hopefully we'll see that soon. But I watched all of day 1 back when it happened, and I watched all of day 2 the next day. So it's pretty interesting to see the hotshot lawyer that they, paid a ton of money just stumble through the whole thing, and I don't know what they're paying for, but oh well. Huh. So that's all the show we have for this week. Remember to tune back at 9:30 p.m. Eastern on Wednesday nights. And until then, remember that badges don't grant extra rights.
Thanks for listening to FPRN. Don't forget to check us out on Facebook and Twitter. If you'd like to start your own show with FPRN, advertise with us, or donate to the network or to your favorite shows, check out our website at www.fprnradio.com.